to start lunging Castor with the long target. So I'm going to introduce it to him first because he doesn't really understand what the long one is specifically. He does know what targets are. He targets multiple different things. Right now he's just targeting whips, or what used to be used as whips. So there's a short one and I have like a longer one. Now I'm going to introduce this one. So I'm just going to pick it up and then ask him to target it, and then I'm going to shape it to where eventually he's touching the end on the left side where it's just that little piece of blue that's a pool noodle. So I'm going to help him out here to kind of show him where I want it. There he goes toward the blue. So I'm going to click and reward. And he's not afraid of it. If your horse is afraid of it, you're going to have to start back a few steps. So maybe he sees it on the ground, you click and reward for him going, like looking at it and then going toward it and then getting closer and then just touching any part of it and then shaping it toward the blue part. So there he's like, I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do, because I should have clicked and fed a little bit more here for him just touching the pole and then move to the blue. I got stuck on just, okay, like touch the blue part, even though he didn't know what that even was at this point. So that's why he's just kind of standing here. Doesn't really know what to do. So he's really close here. So I do help him out and put it in front of his face. That does help. So then I can at least show him, hey, this is where I want your nose. But he does quite well with this long target. It really was pretty helpful. It's just a long PVC pole. It's just I'm not sure exactly how long it is, but it's really lightweight. So there we go. As soon as he touches it, I'm going to click and then go feed him. And right now I'm just having him target it. I do want him to touch it because I want him to have that reinforcement history with it. Like he knows that this is something good, he wants to touch it, and then I'll start switching it to where he gets rewarded and clicked for going forward. Or stopping and standing still too, but instead of just getting the target, I don't want him to get stuck on touching it, I want him following it. So yeah, I'm going to click that because he went to his left and went out to the blue part and touched it. Give him 2 little handfuls of treats there. I want to make it super reinforcing so that he's going to want to touch it more in the future. I'll let him hang out, and then I will present it again. He's pushing the wrong part, so I'm just going to wait. There, click there, and feed him. So this actually helps too with your target presentation. So like when you have a short target, it's really easy to like hold it out, wave it around, and forget what you're doing. This one, it makes it a lot harder because you have to hold it up deliberately. That was perfect. Click that. So now he's like, I'm picking it up and like it's moving slightly away, so he's taking like a step to go get it. So this is perfect. Or he's already following it. But this long target makes it where like if I want to go feed him, I gotta put it down. So then I'm not presenting it at all, like inadvertently, so that's perfect. He's going to want to touch it on his own here, so be careful with that. If your horse is like kind of flighty or worried, he might get scared if you pick it up when it's under his nose. That's perfect. Yeah, he's getting it already. So this beginning video is going to be slow. It's like, what are you even doing? But I'm just like charging the target. Like I want him to be focused on it, I want him to follow it, and then I can build all my lunging on top of that. But right now we're just worried about, I want you to like the target, follow the target, it's all about the target. So he's touching there, click there, and then I'll pop it on the ground and go feed him. So if your horse is worried type, you might have to be slower and you might have to reward for putting the target down and picking it up. I do have to do that a little bit with Atlas, which you'll see in his video series. I don't have to do that with Castor because he did not care. He was going to eat the target if he wanted, so. Okay. And you can do this in a round pen too. Like you saw me in the other video and I had the round pen, I just had the regular target. I like the long target too. I mean, I would use whatever you want. I'd start off with the round pen because you're in the protected contact and then move on to this. I found that the Mustangs picked this up really quickly. And then I started fading out the target really quickly and I just had really nice lunging. So I was really happy with the results with this. So, and what you'll see, it be a lot different in the next video. So there I'm asking for a few more steps before he gets to the target. That's perfect. And since he's so far away from me, he's also practicing. He's over there, I'm over a distance away from him, and he can wait there and I will give him a treat. So that looks awesome. We're going to go ahead and do the same thing the other way. Him there. So it's a little slow, like there's not a whole lot going on, but this part is super important. If you pick it up and your horse doesn't want to immediately orient to it, look at it, go to it, then you're not ready to start teaching the lunging because he's not looking at it, he's not paying attention to it, it doesn't have that much value for him. So it needs to be very valuable before you start asking him to follow it, or you're just going to wander off or be confused. So, but we're just going to do this the other side. So I pick it up, move it a little bit, and he's already like, okay, got this. I would make sure you do it on both sides, just in case. You're going to have to do both sides anyway, so you might as well practice it. But I mean, he picked it up really quickly. Your should pick it up fairly quickly. Target. I'm not sure why I decided to change sides so quickly that way. He is understanding it though. Kind of bumped his nose into it, but he is being really good about it. If your horse is starting to pin his ears at this point and wanting to like chase it, that's when you're gonna start clicking for just following. So click here for him following before he ever got to the target. Right now I'm still charging it for Castor specifically. He's not showing any aggression or ear pinning, anything like that. But that's the key there, is rewarding that forward, going toward the target and not just at the target, because then he's going to be frustrated that he can't get to it. So that is an important key. But he was excellent with his first lesson with this. He looks really good. So I'm going to call it a day with that.
Good boy. Come on.